Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
One to another. Right off the bat, we're already seeing several big-name rookies struggle a little bit. Talk about the adjustment going from being the star player, the guy on your college team, to becoming, initially at least, a contributor in the NBA.
I think it's difficult, the mental adjustment for a player to come to practice and do all the things to prepare for a practice and then work extra either before or after practice, Kevin, and then go to a game, put on your uniform, and sit. It's just not something that they're used to. They haven't done it for 10,
right.
Oh yeah, or 10 or 12 years. And so it's important to have three things at that point, Kevin. One, a coach that continues to tell you what you need to work on. Two, an assistant coach that works with you daily on the things that the coach has told you about. And the last part is having a veteran guy as a mentor. That can be extremely important in you keeping your confidence and the idea of be ready, stay ready when your opportunity presents itself.
So a look at our starters for the Knicks. We've got Beasley, and his Cantor is out there with Porzingis. And it's Smith, and it's Burke, and at the point. Now, here's Vucevic. He's coming off a 10-point game against Boston.
And guys, what impressed me most was his passing. He constantly looked for the open man and found guys in great spots.
Orlando's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, I was able to talk with Frank Vogel for just a minute. He's tried to remain upbeat about their performance this season, even though they have not played at the level of the elite teams in the league. He said the effort's been there, we just haven't gotten the results we've been hoping for. They continue to try to find answers, Kevin. Back to you.
All right, thank you, David. And that one's good. Burke.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Well, you have to be able to trust each other on the defensive end of the floor. Otherwise, the whole thing is just going to crumble.
Now here's Gordon. He's been playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game. And it's Vucevic missing. The Knicks have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Now here's Burke, headed by Augustine. And here's Porzingis for a three. That doesn't go either for Porzingis. I think it's been a long rebuild for the Magic, but they really feel they've got a plan in place.
Well, you've heard the front office talking that they're going to win at least one championship by the year 2030. And I got to say, that's an interesting quote, to say the least. I mean, I have heard of a 5-year plan, but a 13-year plan, I guess you'd call that building for the long term.
And here's Augustine following Porzingis' three. And here's Augustine. 8 points his last outing. Knocked loose. Pass to Isaac. Over Beasley. The Magic again can't hit. New York leading by 4. Burke kicks to Porzingis. That one falls coming off Burke's feet. Burke's got 3 assists in the game.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Now here is Augustine. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. They need this. Kept alive. The pass to Fournier. Down low. Vucevic, the pass to Fournier. Gordon a screen. Vucevic setting the pick for Augustine. From outside the arc, count that one from Isaac. Isaac's got 6.
And how about Isaac? He just attacks the backcourt, especially on the offensive glass, putting that height to good use.
Now here's Burke. He's coming off a 13-point game against Charlotte.
Yeah, just misjudged the layup. Defense has to be better. Very fortunate there.
Dishes it to Vucevic. Here's Isaac. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
And Isaac, great job there of putting the defense in a bad way, forcing the foul with that move.
The Magic shooting their first shots of the night from the charity stripe.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Yambo, he's checked in for Vucevic. Mario Hezonja comes in for Aaron Gordon. And Simmons subbed in for Evan Fournier. Trains it from beyond the arc. Beasley's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The Magic trail by 5. There are a fair amount of explosive point guards in the league, and Moutier is right up there with the best of them. Brent, the way he can just blow by a guy, rise up is incredible for a guard his size.
Yeah, Moutier can cover a lot of space with just one dribble. So take up the ground that's being offered up to you by your defender. It's just tough to remain consistent with that kind of shot attempt night after night over the top of defender and with contact. We'll see as he progresses how that goes.
The Knicks leading by 5. Here's Beasley. That shot, no good. And Orlando the other way now. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
And you know, when everyone's working together, taking care of their roles, it just makes the game easier.
They not only had the right strategy, but they were very exact in their execution. And when the coaches call in the right plays, everything just looks seamless.
Terrence Ross is checked in for Isaac. Williams, he's checked in for New York. You look at the Knicks last season, the organization just wasn't on the same page. Front office members, Brent feuding with current and former players, team active in trade talks, it seemed season long. Hard to win games with that atmosphere.
Well, it was a circus last year. How many things happened on and off the court for the Knicks where they spent a tremendous amount of energy dealing with that instead of the problems closing out and getting rebounds and suffering through turnovers. You just don't want to spend any extra energy with that kind of stuff, and it felt like it just piled on the Knicks last year.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
And Gortat kicks to Williams. And here's Morris for 3. It's Biyombo with the rebound. The Magic trail by 5. Feeds to Augustine. Back to Biyombo. Pass to Hezonja. The dish to Simmons.
Oh, Jesus.
That misses, so no good on his first attempt of the night. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Knicks lead by 5. Let's take a quick break now. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And guys, what's your take on the Knicks so far? Here's Moutier. Here are the 5 New York has to start here in the second. Moutier out there with Smith. Then there's Markieff Morris. Then it's Williams. And it's Gortat in at the 5, patrolling the paint.
That's exactly the shot they're looking for.
Orlando's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Williams dishes to Smith. He kicks to Moutier. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here. And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for the Knicks.
And you can see how big a role the 3-point shot played in their offense. They were determined to spread the floor and just kind of open things up through their long-range game.
It's a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, the Orlando Magic do have a stacked front court. They've got plenty of size. Head coach Frank Vogel said, in today's small ball NBA, we think we can beat the heck out of teams in the paint. But shooting has been a hindrance. We conceded might have to win some games, 68 to 65. Kevin?
Going against the grain, DA. Thank you. 3-pointer. Knocks down the 3 ball. And it's a 12-point New York lead.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
And it'll be Orlando with their first time out of the game right here. Brent, the last team you played for, the Houston Rockets. Your dad, your older brother John, also played for the Rockets. What's this connection between the city of Houston and the Barry family?
I've asked them that same question in Houston, and I even talked to Daryl Morey about putting a Barry graveyard across the street where it is that all three of us, our career had ended. I'd love to see a tombstone over there with Rick, John, and Brent.
Well,
maybe we'll add a few more to it, Kevin.
Well, the way you played there, the way you played your career, and your family played, obviously you've set a standard in the league. But that was an interesting stop that you all were there at one time.
I think it's crazy that we all ended in Houston.
Yeah,
weird.
It is.
3 careers ending with one organization.
Isn't that something?
Weird.
He does not play the score. I mean, he's going to continue to work his tail off on the glass and make plays just like that.
That's the kind of guy who does things that breaks the backs of their opponents because they're about wanting it more than the other guy you're up against.
Well-coordinated shot mechanics, especially for a guy with his length.
Yeah, he's certainly able to shoot over the top of people. High percentage look right there from the mid-range.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking it.
And Trey Burke gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. And Orlando making a change here. Fournier is checked in. He feeds it to Ross. Vucevic, a screen on Smith for 3. Ross hands it from downtown. Ross has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Here's Burke, and he banks in the layup. And the Knicks lead by 13.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Gordon for 3. They get it back. New York's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the 3 ball here. Burke kicks to Moutier. Back to Burke. Smith, the pass to Moutier. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Moutier's got 8 points here in this quarter.
When Moutier starts to stroke it from the outside, he's got him on a string. It just feels like at this point the Knicks know they need to build around Kristaps Porzingis for their future. Best player for them on both ends of the floor as he's a great rim protector. He's very young, connecting with New York City. There's some hope there.
The Magic trail by 16. Baseline jumper. Rebound by Smith.
And that was an easy one there. Just a missed opportunity.
Yeah, sometimes everything can go right, but the shot doesn't go down. Nothing there is automatic.
With Porzingis, he truly is the star the Knicks were waiting to draft.
Well, you might go all the way back to the draft when Patrick Ewing ended up putting on that New York Knicks ball cap. Maybe even Mark Jackson, who ended up as the Rookie of the Year as the 18th pick for the New York Knicks. They do have their centerpiece moving forward. Kristaps Porzingis is a very unique talent in the NBA. Really the pressure on now to build around that guy and get back to contending basketball in the Eastern Conference.
And since Dwight Howard back in 2012, the rebuild effort just has languished here in Orlando, unable really to draft any superstar talent. And last season, trades for veteran talent didn't really move the needle either.
Isaac's checked in for Terrence Ross. The Knicks also changing it up. Cantor's checked in for Chandler. Porzingis comes in for Alan Williams. And it's Beasley in for Emmanuel Moutier. Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. And Greg, when you look at the Magic, do you see a plan or a roadmap here?
Well, you look at that trade for Serge Ibaka going into last season, and that was probably a sign that ownership was growing impatient. They wanted to cash in their chips and really go for it. And now they might need a rebuild from that rebuild.
You're right. Now, here's Burke. He's tightly guarded. And Porzingis gets it to go on the assist by Burke. Porzingis has got 10.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Augustine dishes to Fournier. Gordon kicks to Augustine. Pass to Isaac. Orlando moving the ball around. Porzingis with the block.
Yeah, good luck getting a shot over the 7-foot, 6-inch tall wingspan. Kristaps Porzingis.
The Magic trail by 17. The feed to Augustine. Picked by Vucevic. Lets it go from deep. Augustine, no luck.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
The three from Porzingis. Doesn't go either for Porzingis.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
Here's Isaac. The Magic again can't hit. Burke. He can't get that one. And so it's New York feeling good about their...
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Ernie Johnson joined by Kenny the Jet Smith. It was all Kristaps Porzingis in the first quarter. He had 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 block. Taking a look at the Knicks, Kenny, what'd you think?
They've done a lot of things well, but the way they've taken care of the basketball, value.
And that's all we can do for now.
Welcome back, folks. The downtown is especially striking tonight. The Knicks leading by 17. The big men are Gordon and Vucevic. Augustine and Fournier are in the backcourt. And it's Isaac in at the 3. That's the group starting the second half for Frank Vogel.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Here's Vucevic. Passes it to Augustine. Shoots over Burke. Augustine, that's good. And Brent, you went up against Hornacek as a player and even defended him a couple times. What was it like playing against Hornacek, the player?
Well, I want you to ask Jeff Hornacek if I defended him, because I thought I did a good job, and sometimes the box score didn't reveal it. But what a tremendous shooter, a great off-ball mover, certainly in that system with John Stockton. And if there was any room, Kevin, that I gave Jeff Hornacek, and trust me, there was plenty of times I did that, he was knocking down jump shots. One of the most efficient players in Jazz history.
Here's Gordon. Knicks with the rebound.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. The work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Augustine. The teardrop falls in. Augustine's got his second basket of the game.
Oh, such a field shot there, the floater.
Burke, the pass to Cantor. It's stolen by Vucevic. Here's Isaac. Gordon dishes to Fournier. And the first shot of the night for him, no good. The Knicks leading by 18. Here's Porzingis. And Vucevic pulls it down.
Wow, huge sigh of relief for the defense on that possession. You cannot give mid-range shooters any space like that to operate.
Oh, such a beautiful pass to set that one up.
Yeah, the pass might have been pretty, but the finish was angry. Great way to see the alley-oop. That replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment.
And it's not a secret, Cantor is a major factor on the offensive glass thanks to his size, strength, and excellent hand.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. You've seen the shift in offensive strategy, Brent. More threes, more spacing, better flow, opening up driving lanes and opportunities to make at least one quick move to the basket. What have defenses been doing on the other side trying to counteract those trends?
I think the biggest trend that you see, Kevin, is the switching defenses. So many rosters now constructed of guys who have the ability to get off of a screen and to pick up a perimeter player. And that's not for 24 seconds, but 5 or 6 seconds being able to contain dribble penetration and challenge deep threes. So the switching aspect of NBA defense, that is a trend.
Morris a screen. Burke kicks to Morris, and Morris throws it down.
Well, passing is something he does very well, especially when it comes to leading his man to the right spot.
Simmons against Smith. Shot by Gordon, wide open. That's in. Augustine with the assist. That's 7 points for Aaron Gordon.
And when the D is this non-existent, It's pretty easy for shooters. Fishing with dynamite.
Chandler, the pass to Burke. Kicks it out to Beasley. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
A little tit-for-tat action going on the back-to-back trade.
Yeah, a little gamesmanship from range could force both defenses to maybe extend out a little further.
Ross with it, guarded now by Michael Beasley. Ross kicks to Augustine. Pocket 6 from the wing. That's short off the rim.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
The Magic trail by 17. And Trey Burke gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. Orlando making some changes. Biombo comes in for Vucevic, and it's Hezonja in for Ross. And the Knicks making a change here as well. Gortat's checked in.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
New York leading by 17. Smith dishes to Gortat. Biombo with the block. One-on-one here. The stupendous finish in traffic. Here's Burke. He has 5.
And for the Magic, it's really been a musical chairs with their coaches. A lot of churning on the roster, but the pieces still have yet to gel. And honestly, it's been a mess.
And if you're running the Magic, Greg, what's the roadmap to contention?
Well, first and foremost, it's always going to have to start through the draft. I mean, you've got to be able to get core pieces there. And then you want to continue to add perimeter shooting and focus on developing your young talent based on the way the game is played today.
Gordon kicks to Hezonja.
No.
That's where I like the shot selection. The defense cannot afford to give up wide open shots. And they dodged the bullet there.
Gortat, the pass to Morris. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Morris has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
And Trey Burke gets the whistle that time. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Isaac's checked in for Orlando. Evan Fournier comes in for DJ Augustine. Alan Williams, he's checked in for the Knicks. Simmons on the wing. Burke covering. Smith against Fournier. Just 4 to shoot. And the basket by Isaac. Isaac's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half.
Williams. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. This is his first chance at the line tonight.
And, of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
Porzingis is checked in for Michael Beasley. They get a hand on it, and stolen by Burke. He dishes it to Gortat. Can't get it to ball.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
And so it's New York controlling the game and finishing the quarter with a 20-point lead. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We'll return shortly. Now let's listen in to Frank Vogel's huddle.
Shrink the floor when you're on.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the 4th quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the 4th quarter. On the court for the Knicks, Alan Williams out there with Porzingis. Then it's Gortat. Then there's Burke. And it's Smith in at the shooting guard position. That one's not going to go. And New York the other way now. They host the Kings after this game. They start a 3-game homestand with that game. Williams for 3. Orlando grabs the miss. Isaac's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Hezonja. The Magic again can't hit. The Knicks leading by 20. That's a 2 from Smith. He trains the quick shot. Smith's got the 4th quarter going with the first basket of the period here for New York. Pass to Isaac. Here's Azania. He's guarded by Williams. Drills the baseline jumper. A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. Burke kicks to Porzingis. The pass to Burke, takes the three.
Right,
by the Magic. Isaac's got his 6th rebound on the night.
He's been a little bit disappointing in this game. However, his team has his back. They need a little bit more help from him.
There's the screen. Simmons dishes to Fournier. Here's Azania. No good from outside.
A tough game for the guys around him, mainly because his shot's been hit and miss.
Slims it home.
Well, JR's such a strong guard that time to do so.
Vucevic checked in for the Magic. Then for the Knicks, Cantor comes in for Gortat. And it's Beasley in for Williams. Buries it from three-point range.
Yeah, you would think a coach might have talked to his defense about making the adjustment on him, but right now, he's just lighting him up.
No good from Beasley. The Magic trail by 19. Here's Fournier. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Great patience on the block, elevating with ease and then sinking the close range shot over the top of the D.
And that long wingspan of Isaac aids him there in turning away shots, but it's also the timing he displays when he attacks the shooter.
Gordon's checked in for the Magic. Augustine comes in for Azania.
And you can see how this game is going. I mean, put a body on somebody.
Right, you're down by double digits. You have to play with maximum intensity just to have a chance to come back. Not seeing it here.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. Brett, you've played for... What is it? Have to go in and prove yourself to a whole new group of teammates and coaches, a new fan base, all of them.
I think those situations can all change dramatically, Kevin. If you're in the league for 5 or 6 years, there's a good understanding that you're there for a reason. You're just shifting addresses and cities at that point, and I think guys have an understanding and respect for what you bring to the table because they know your game will travel.
Good. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Isaac misses.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Up top, Burke, guarded by Augustine. Burke, the pass to Porzingis. That one falls, coming off Burke's feet. Burke's got 10 assists here tonight. So active.
Sometimes good defense against a guy that size, it's just not going to work out.
Pass to Isaac. Kicks it to Vucevic. To the middle. Shot clock at 6. Porzingis with the block. Banked in off the glass. 7 points for Vucevic. Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
And he's probably looking at some matchups on the floor he'd like to take advantage of.
I'm interested in what he's seeing and then what kind of play they run coming out of this timeout.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Kristaps Porzingis.
And he's provided them with a major mismatch on that low block tonight. They've been able to lean on his scoring in the paint. And if nothing else has worked, he's given them a reliable option on every possession.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special.
And lots of credit for the team around him. They're picking up the slack here tonight. He just can't buy a bucket right now.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Burke kicks to Porzingis. And the Knicks miss again. The Magic trail by 19. To the paint. Lets it go from 11. That one off the back iron and out. Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
That's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
You like the fact that Porzingis holds the ball up high. I mean, a 7-3 guy going higher, tough to stop.
This is to Gordon. 1:46 left in the fourth quarter. From the wing, and it's Vucevic missing.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Orlando's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. And Fournier kicks to Augustine, and Enes Kanter picks up a foul. That's his first foul. From we know the regular season is a crime. We also know that revenue is king. Could you imagine a time when we'd actually have to play more than 82 games?
That's interesting, Kevin, because a lot of the times the argument you've heard over the course of the past 5 or 6 seasons, Kevin, is the opposite of that 65-game schedule. Why not reduce the schedule? Stars playing in every game, less back-to-back, more time for recovery. So the idea of 82 games being extended beyond that, I don't think that that's in the realm of possibility.
65, 68 games, and they had that shortened season a couple years ago. It was terrific to watch.
It was, and so we'll see if the league does that. But in your question alone, Kevin, you said it. Cash is king. 82 is the number we're going to settle in, I think, for quite some time.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Knicks.
The differential in assists led to a lot of open looks, and it also helped to get more guys involved in the offense easy.
And they made the defense adjust, but they just couldn't come up with an answer.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Porzingis.
Well, he really contributed down there on the offensive end. Seemed like he was hitting anything he was putting up.
And saving their best for last. Tremendous run here to seal the win.
And you could just see everything coming together like a perfect storm, and they just rolled on through.
Good work there as a coach.
Tough to fault him for the struggles of the team so far. He has been solid. It's the rest of the guys that need to come along for the ride.
And something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Well, being aggressive is one thing, but aggression with control is another, and you need both elements working together.
So no problem for New York as they get the win. A resounding victory for them. And Greg,